Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niradam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayan Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Samacharana Sarojam Sandra Neelambudamam Jagananihitapanim Mandanam Mandananam Tarunatulasimalam Kantharam Kanchanetram Sadaya Dhavalahasam Vitthalan Chintayami Vitthalan Chintayami. Verse 56. Just as we are awakening, one realizes that the kingdom seen in a dream was fictitious. You should bear in mind that all the worldly life is a play of Maya and its glory.
पुंसो युक्तस्य नानार्थः भ्रमः स गुणदोषभाक् कर्मा कर्म विकर्मेति गुणदोषधियोभिधा.
Meaning of the verse. A man with an unsteady mind sees diversity in the world and thinks that one is good and the other is evil. And in his eyes, the distinction of prescribed action, inaction, and prohibited action prevail. Number 57. A man who thinks that he is separate from Atman should be considered as of divided mind, not a compact one, homogeneous being, because he forgets his oneness, his total unity with all the world, and sees a variety of objects as separate things. 58. By the force of that forgetfulness, the illusory differences appear to be true, and when this distinction prevails, there is a sense of good and bad, virtue and vice in his mind. 59. When difference is actually not real, what is the reality in what is the reality in virtue and vice? In the purity of reality, separation has no place at all. 60. By the force of separation, in the point of view, there appears the vision which bifurcates virtue and vice, and by that, the triplicity in nature, such as the seer, the seeing, and the seen, becomes evident. 61. Division has created the concepts of prescribed action, non-action, wrong action, the happenings like birth and death, and what is dharma, which is righteousness, and what is karma, that is binding action. 62. By binding created by karma and vikarma, that is wrong action, one has to undergo suffering in hell. And by action done with selfish purpose, such as yajnas, one goes to heaven. So one should use the tact of freeing oneself from the bondage of karma while performing it. 63. If you ask what is karma, what is non-action or inaction, what is the sign of vikarma or wrong action, please listen to all that. 64. Whatever is done by the body, by the speech, and by the mind is all karma, and the subtle inspiration is the root of this karma. 65. The inaction which consists of non-creation of the seed of karma is in the mind, speech, or the body is never possible to a man who is proud of his body. 66. Inaction is that which is completely different from karma, and karma with its binding nature cannot even touch the state of inaction. That which is not within the scope of a man who is attached to and proud of ritualistic performances should be known as inaction. Vikarma is action where there is no consideration for the rules laid down by scriptures and wrong activities are undertaken, and these result in danger to the man. 68. When an ordinary action becomes distorted and there are in it various sanctions and prohibitions, it is called vikarma. 69. That which is not done according to the rules becomes automatically the prohibited action. That action, in the performance of which mistakes are committed, or some defects remain, or there is break in the process, or there is inadequacy, is really the prohibited karma. 70. I have described to you the character of such defective action by using the word karma. So using the word vikarma, and thus all the categories of karma are explained to you. 71. As the jiva came into being through ignorance, his actions are also of the nature of ignorance. Here Eknathi proceeds to give commentary according to the arguments offered by Sridhara, the earlier veteran Pandit. 72. Jiva is born of the great ignorance. Everyday work is his karma, not to do his routine work in akarma, that is in action, and prohibited karma is vikarma. 73. When this categorical division creates the triple classes of karma, the point of view of seeing the divisions and virtues and vices in things becomes more prevalent. 74. If you ask how, in the original unity, these divisions of virtues and vices and the sanctions and prohibitions of karma arise, please listen to what I say. 73. Purusha, the entity, is alone by nature, but when he sets about to worship and fulfill his imagined aims, there appear the three factors, namely the thinker, the thinking, and the object of thinking, and then all the divisive attitudes become active. 76. In that process, he conceives various offerings and utensils of rituals, and though he is alone, he conceives all sorts of differences. 77. He places his goal or aim as something higher and he himself as someone lower, and in that concept itself, the thinking becomes endowed with good or bad, virtuous or disorderly qualities. 78. In the thinking or meditating, there arise strange and unreal defects or merits. He thinks that the goal is very sacred and himself is not pure because his behavior is not proper and pure. 79. In this way, he creates by his own imaginative conception the trinity of division of the observer, etc., full of good and bad qualities. 80. Actually, he alone is the seer, the seeing and the thing seen, but ignoring this, he increases the good and bad qualities in his own view. 81. O Uddhava, this entire world is full of separatist point of view, and through it the karma becomes triple. 82. As the love for variety increases or attachment to objects becomes stronger, or as the organs are pampered, the entanglement of jiva in the mundane life increases. 83. If nectar is given to a serpent for sipping, it is sure to become the poison in its body. Similarly, the more pleasure is given to the organs, the more suffering it brings in.
तस्माद्युक्तेन्द्रियग्रामः युक्तचित्त इदं जगत् आत्मनीक्षस्व विततम् आत्मानं मय्यधीश्वरे.
Meaning of the verse. So, you having control over your organs and with right mind should look at this world within you and yourself within me, who is the overlord of the whole world. 84. The Lord said further, the seeker should not allow the objects to enter the mouth of the sense organs. When poison is put into milk, that milk is not to be consumed, but to be thrown away. 85. Or if a serpent vomits on fresh fruit, the crows do not eat those fruits because they know it to be dangerous for them. 86. Similarly, how can the seekers of liberation have interest in enjoying sense objects? They see death in those objects at every step. 80. Only those who do not see the suicide in these objects will enjoy them. For instance, an owl finds everything dark as midnight, even when the sun is shining at noon. 80. Little 80, I don't know, 85, 86, 87. They got a number wrong, I suppose. Anyway, 80. Similar is the
89.
condition. 80,
88.
Yeah, 87, 88, yeah. Similar is the condition of seekers who indulge in sense objects because that does not save them from rebirth, but they suffer a great fault. Then it's 90, isn't it? You may ask that when the life of all beings is dependent on various objects, how can they survive without enjoying them? For that also I shall give you the way to escape. Then 91. When the organs are...
It is 90. The previous was 89.
Oh,
Now
is it?
it's
Okay.
now
Sorry.
90. Now it's okay.
90. Thanks. When the organs are properly kept in check by following the rules of conduct, the mind becomes peaceful, and thus by control of the organs and the mind, it is easy to give up the attachment to the object of senses. 91. If organs are in contact with the objects, let them be, but you should not allow your mind to be involved in thinking about the enjoyments. This is also renunciation according to great yogis. 92. Now, here you will say that mind has all the strength because of the objects before it, and it cannot be steady, but will always be fickle with attachment to the objects. Please listen to my answer, giving you the tact to make it steady. 93. My own existence is inside as well as outside the mind because it is all pervading. So it is always present at every place where the mind wanders. 94. There is no other place except me for the mind to go. It may be in the native land of a man or in a foreign land. It is always within me day and night. 95. If you see your own self everywhere present at all times, your mind will definitely be as omnipresent as mine, and in your own mind, you will see all this world from beginning to end. 96. Or your jiva is also the place where, if you see the whole world nicely contained, the whole world will be your own body. 97. Look into your own jiva, everything which is moving and non-moving and small or big. 98. You will say that jiva is related to one place, and how can the whole world be seen in it? Here you should use the simile of the gold and its ornament and make yourself united with me. That is sufficient for you to look at the world in yourself. 99. When the worm thinks of the beetle, the worm becomes the beetle by constant brooding out of fear. Similarly, by the sight of the Atman, you will be all pervading as the Atman. 100. My dear, When a little salt is put into sea, it becomes the sea. Similarly, you will not be Uddhava, but myself, the Lord. 101. When the difference between you and me will be totally dissolved, you will be pure, free, Siddha, and Buddha, the enlightened.
ज्ञानविज्ञानसंयुक्तः आत्मभूतशरीरिणाम् आत्मानुभवतुष्टात्मा नान्तरायैर्विहन्यसे.
Meaning of the verse. When you will thus be enriched by analytical knowledge as well as self-knowledge and find yourself as the Atman of all the beings who are having body, and when you will be thus pleased with experience of the all-pervading self, you will not be thwarted by any hindrances. 102. There is knowledge by listening to the scriptures and self-knowledge by meditation and study, and when you understand both, you will be a realized soul. 103. You will say that for your own welfare, you will worship my feet in this way, but what are you to do if there will be hindrances in your way? Please listen about it. 104. How can there by any hindrances for a person who, without any hypocrisy and without regard to public applause and giving up hopes for fruit, devotes himself to me? 105. To destroy any calamities that may befall him, I am always near him with the brilliant Sudarshana disc in my hand. 106. O Uddhava, when I am there to protect him who worships me with the sense of unity, even gods cannot disturb. 107. In short, when you will be one with Brahman, you yourself will be the all-pervading Atman in the whole creation, in the non-moving, the moving beings, and in the deities and the demons, it will be you only. 108. There will not be an atom or speck of dust separate from you. So how can any calamity attack you? 109. You will be the Atman, the spirit, even of the time which gulps even the gods, including Brahma. Thus, the Lord told Uddhava by patting his back lovingly, he further said, 110. Thus, the concept of disturbing and the disturbed disappears. There is the dawn of the joy in the state of Brahmin, and the path of binding karma is closed. 111. Karma becomes a pauper, and the Vedas become the servants of which a realized yogi, and the rules of conduct simply become workers under him. 112. How much should I tell you about his greatness? I myself obey his orders. I have to become manifest at any place where such devotees desire. 113. In order to prove true the word of my devotee, that is Prahlad, I had to be manifest in the dry wood of the pillar of the palace. You have witnessed how I carried the sage Durvasa on my back. 114. You will say that since the god becomes the servant of the devotees, his karma will be ineffective totally, and it is feared that they will then break all rules by indulging in all the sensual pleasures. 115. I will tell you what happens. You see, if a devotee is thus really wise, he will never commit wrong actions. I will presently tell you why. Please bear with me. 116. The awareness of the outer world is not real in the case of the man whose pride is as finished as a burnt cloth, and even his looking at worldly objects is considered by him as unreal. Therefore, there is no such thing as indulgence in the sense objects in his case. 117. Only a man who is having tremendous attachment and desire of sense objects is pull towards careless behavior, and it is such a man who is attacked by calamities. 118. The wise man, however, does not see outward objects as real. Then how can he be entangled in them? 119. Now I shall tell you the secret of the karma of the wise man. The wise persons act according to the natural state without touching the fickle projections of the mind.
दोषबुद्ध्यो भयातीतः निषेधान्न निवर्तते गुणबुद्ध्या च विहितं न करोति यथार्भकः.
Meaning of the verse. He who has gone beyond the distinction of good and evil does not refrain from wrongdoing because he perceives any evil in it, nor does he perform the prescribed duties because he thinks well of these, but he only acts as innocently as child whose actions are not premeditated. 120. The man who is beyond the discrimination of good or bad does not naturally commit prohibited actions, but there is no fear in his mind. 121. He performs the prescribed duties, but does not think that he has done a good thing, nor does he become proud of good qualities. Just like the wheel of a potter who has withdrawn his guiding hand remains moving for some time. 122. There is no projection of desire in his mind. There is no intention in his consciousness. Thus, the wise man acts only for their body. 123. Naturally, he is not proud of having done good work, nor sorry if his work is not finished. 124. A man who is asleep is not afraid if a tiger sits near him, or is pleased if some objects of heavenly pleasure is present before him. Similar is the state of mind of wise people. 125. Just as children play with a free mind without any consideration about any defect or otherwise, similarly, the persons of wisdom act in a state of mind which is clear and balanced.
Hari Om.
120.
We can pause over here for today.
Yeah.
You can give your thoughts of what you felt while reading.
Yeah, I found a lot of principles that are expounded in Gita, Upanishads, and various other Puranas and scriptures and everything, quite a lot. I don't know where to start, but one is Shankaracharya's Advaita philosophy is very much here in 57. A man who thinks that he's separate from Atman should be considered as a divided mind. So it's very much the question of Dvaita and Advaita. And if one considers that our body is an extension, or the outer world is an extension, and all, if our body is same as the outer world, living and non-living, then the question of separation doesn't come. And this leads us to the Kaivalya Upanishad, where we earlier saw Drishya Vivek and all, isn't it? So that is one thing. And the other thing that has attracted me is the Gita verses, which is verse 17 in chapter 4, Karmano hyabi bodhavyam agarmanascha. So they're talking a lot about karmana, agarmana, vigarmana and all. So that is found very attractive and nice. And the other thing, they talk about Jiva. And the one thing, 100 and Lord's word to Uddhava, comparing Uddhava to a lump of salt. If you put salt into the sea, it dissolves. It becomes one with the sea. So similarly, Uddhava, you are just a salt, and once you're gone, you are merging with the Lord. So I found those similes quite very, very interesting. Yes, quite a lot of principles here and they discussed.
Yes.
Yes.
Today's whole was a nectarine. It was like complete Vedanta session only, I felt. And you had summarized it so very beautiful. Yes, that Uddhava's thing, yeah, 81 and all, it is good. Good. Anybody wants to add any more thoughts?
The movie 100 is like Nacha Matstani Bhutani Pashyame Yogamaishwaram from the 9th chapter.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. The salt thing is OV100.
I'm
Beautiful.
just marveling at Radhakrishnan and Nikhila ji's expansion, right? And how far they are in the journey that they can, bring connections across texts. Really amazing.
Not at all, not at all. Just all from because of Varshaji's kindness and grace.
Not mine.
All
Awesome.
because of Varshaji only. Yes.
It's yours. Amazing verses. So we continue tomorrow from 126, if unless anybody wants to add any more thoughts. Okay. So over to you, Radhakrishnan for closing. Yes.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Sri Krishna Namastu Hari Om.
Hari Om Radhakrishnan ji. Thank you for lovely reading. Thank you everyone for joining. The birthday boy is over here.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you, Sri Hari ji.
Oh, many happy returns.
Ai priya sakhe shantanotu te sarvada mudam प्रार्थयामहे भवशतायुषी ईश्वर सदा त्वां च रक्षतु पुण्यकर्मणा कीर्तिमर्जय जीवनं तव भवतु सार्थकम् जन्मदिनमिदम् अयि प्रिय सखे शन्तनोतु ते सर्वदा मुदम् Happy birthday to you,
Thank
Shri
you.
Harichi. May
Thank
you
you,
live up
Varshaji.
to all these words which Puja Guruji has written. May all those blessings flow to you. Thank you for joining. I was searching you in Narayaniam class,
Thank
but I
you,
got
thank
to
you,
wish you
Varshaji.
now.
I was very busy day today, and my laptop has issues, so stuck in my work today. Sorry. So I just slept in now. Yeah, thank you, Varshaji. I'm very happy to get blessings. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you, Lataji. Thank you, Sajayji. Thank you, everyone. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.